Hey travelers, Mag, I, and Skip here, ready to take on another adventure together here on the island of Shikoku. For today, we're going to be exploring Minami, which is on the southeastern corner of the prefecture. We're beginning the day here in Mugi, and we're going to be working our way along the shore, going steadily east through Hiwasa all the way to a national park at the other side of the district. At no point today are we going to move more than a mile away from the ocean. So we're absolutely going to have coastal views the entire way, and we have about a dozen geocaches between our starting point and our ending point to guide the way through a lot of interesting stops. I'm excited to show you Hiwasa because it's a place I've always enjoyed, and I'm just excited to get to enjoy the coast of the dogs. So come along with us and enjoy another adventure here in Shikoku. Come on, let's go.
The dogs and I begin our coastal journey for the day just outside the small town of Mugi, with a population of just over 3,700 people. The village was first established as a part of Kaifu District on October 1st of 1889, but it has a history dating all the way back to the ancient Awa province. It appears that the dogs catch just the faintest scent of this history, back to origins when this was an ocean-born fishing village known for its timber production. A mere 100 meters off the coast, we can see Tokushima Shrine on its own island, easily accessible if we're willing to wade.
It always brings me a sense of satisfaction to walk right up on a ground zero and put a geocache in hand. Looks like this day is off to a great start.
We decided to begin here based on the geocache hidden at the Mollusco Mugi Shell Museum. First opened to the public in 1986, this unique shellfish museum houses more than 6,000 shellfish and about 2,000 species of unique fossils collected from around the world. As is all too often the case with me though, I find that I am here far too early in the day for the opening hours. Instead of taking the tour, we begin to work our way up the coast.
The Minami Awa Sunline Road runs between Mugi and Hiwasa with 4 observatory stations along its length, and we are just lucky enough for each one of those 4 observatory stations to have a geocache hidden at them. So we have the perfect reason to come visit each one down the line as we make our way along the road. So let's see what the road has in store for us, and let's see if we can make all these finds along the way as well.
This stretch of road is by no means the quickest way to move between Mugi and Minami, but it is certainly the most scenic route available. Even without the geocaches acting as incentive, I'd still recommend taking this road and jumping off the highway, even if it takes a little bit extra time to get to your destination. 3 of the 4 observation areas provide spectacular views out over the Pacific Ocean, with interpretive signs letting you know what the islands off in the distance are. The view at the 3rd observation deck, however, is mostly obscured by the trees, providing very little visibility out toward the coast. Instead, it offers a unique set of paintings for travelers to gaze upon as they stretch their legs.
I'm not 100% sure what's happening in this picture, neither is Ai-chan, but I have to assume this guy is fishing. That looks like a precarious spot to do some fishing from. I'm just going to enjoy the view, and I'm not going to be casting a line down below us.
We continue to gain elevation, driving along the Minami Awa Sunline Road between Mugi and Minami, until we find ourselves more than 200 meters high above the Senba Sea Cliffs. The cliffs stretch on for 2 kilometers, with the tallest, Senbagatake, rising up to 245 meters, one of the tallest cliffs found anywhere in the country.
Hey, these bottle caps are the bread and butter of the day. Just keep them coming. We'll keep adding our names to the logbook.
Since we ran through these observation areas from west to east, our final stop is actually observation deck number 1. This spot was a clear-cut winner for the dogs for 2 reasons. Number 1, we had the place all to ourselves, allowing them to romp around and really enjoy it. Number 2, and much more importantly to Ai-chan, there are lots of stray cats hiding just out in the woods, providing lots of opportunities to smell around while I enjoyed this view one last time.
4 observatories visited, 4 observatories offering me phenomenal views out over the coast. Unfortunately, I was only able to locate 2 out of the 4 geocaches hidden on this stretch. The 2 that I did locate were bottle cap containers hidden in fairly obvious locations, so I have my suspicions the other 2 aren't there to be found anymore. In either case, I consider this a win with a view like that waiting for me at the end of the road.
When the Sunline Road reconnects with the main highway, we immediately find ourselves in the town of Hiwasa, with a population of about 5,500 people. One of the things this town is best known for is the reliable appearance of the loggerhead sea turtle every year between May and August.
The Sunline Road may have been half and half on the finds, but as soon as I come here into Hiwasa, we are back on track.
One of the places I have been most excited about visiting today is a place I have not been to in over a decade, Yakuōji Temple, stop number 23 on the Shikoku 88 temple pilgrimage. I often pass this temple when I am on my way to other destinations in Tokushima Prefecture, and despite Hiwasa being a relatively quiet town, it is always bustling with tourists at the front gates. Today must be my lucky day though, because I find it is relatively quiet and only a few people are making the ascent up to the top with me. From within Tokushima Prefecture, this is the final stop on the temple tour, with the next one, number 24, Hotsumisakiji, being over 77 kilometers away, which takes anywhere between 2 and 5 days to reach on foot. And since many of those taking this pilgrimage do in fact do it on foot, I imagine they like to get their rest here before taking the next steps in the journey. Commissioned by the emperor himself, this temple was built in the year 726, resting on the steep side of a mountain, affording views out over Hiwasa Bay and out toward Hiwasa Castle, which I will unfortunately be unable to visit today as it is closed for construction. This temple is best known for providing aid to its worshippers, ridding them of sickness, hardships, and bad karma, represented by the medicine Buddha, Nyorai. And by the time you ascend to this temple on the side of the mountain, you may just be asking for some of that healing yourself, as there are a lot of steps between sea level and here. First, there are 33 stone steps leading up from the Yaku-Yokubashi Bridge to the Onozaka, the main hall for women. Then you catch your breath before ascending the next 42 stone steps, known as the Otokozaka. Then comes the final challenge, the 61 stone steps leading up to the main hall, known as the 60th birthday of misfortune. Many believe that if you drop coins along the way as you make the climb along these stairs, you will be cleansed of your bad luck, which you may be inclined to believe when you catch sight of the main pagoda at the top, with its 5 pillars representing the harmony between heaven and earth.
Yakuōji Temple, stop number 23 on the Shikoku Temple pilgrimage and our midpoint for the day, moving from Mugi through Hiwasa all the way out to the edge of Minami.
Seeking a spot to catch our breath after taking on all those stairs, Ai-chan, Skip, and I discover a quiet spot known as the Cape of Lovers. With Hiwasa's development coming from the sea rather than by land, it was not uncommon for 2 people to part ways right here at this beach. Wanting one last farewell, partners would ascend to this spot and wave goodbye to their lovers sailing away into the distance.
This bathroom looks all too happy to have anybody come pay it a visit.
For our final stop here in Hiwasa, we put our paws into the sand here on Omaha Beach, where the loggerhead sea turtle comes every year to lay its eggs. Sea turtles are pretty rare here in Japan, making this beach a very precious place every summer. In fact, just a few steps off of the sand, you can find the Hiwasa Shillonian Museum Caretta, named for the scientific name of the loggerhead sea turtle. It is the nearest beach to be able to access from home base, making this one of Ai-chan's favorite places to go out for a walk. But after that long walk, we are all famished, so I think it's time we sit down for lunch.
Ai-chan and Skip have been working very hard today geocaching along with me. It is time to stop for lunch and we're going to give them quite the treat. Normally, they eat this for lunch. I split this can up between the 2 of them. They look good? But we're not going to do that today. No, no. Today I went to the Okita supermarket in Hiwasa and I picked them up some yakitori. So they're gonna go ahead and split this yakitori. Does this look better than the other dog food? Yeah, you're gonna lick that package? What you gonna lick it too? Oh yeah, looks good, huh? Yeah, you can't eat it through the plastic, doesn't work that way though. All right, let us, first though, before I give you the yakitori, I gotta sample it. Okay, it's good. We're just gonna make sure it's safe. It's important. Now we only have 1 bowl for them, so we gotta split it up accordingly. What we're going to do though is go ahead and go with ladies first for this one. And I'm also going to break up all the individual pieces so that they don't just try and swallow it in one bite, because that kind of ruins the fun of getting them a delicious lunch, right? Alright, so there we go. Bowl full of the first yakitori, and this one's for you, Ai-chan. Ladies first. Look at how patient he's being while she eats. He knows he's gonna get his turn next, so he's gonna sit here patiently and let her eat like a good boy, right, Skippy? Yeah. Don't worry, your lunch is coming, buddy. He's drooling all over the deck right here, too. I can imagine this yakitori looks pretty good. You eat it all? No, she ate every bite. All right, Skip. This one here. This one right here. This one's for you, buddy. This one's for Skippy. Alright. Alright, there's Skip's yakitori all divided up, spread around. This one's for you, buddy. You've been a good boy today, huh? You've been a good boy, huh? Yeah, you deserve a good lunch, huh? Mm-hmm. Delicious? Dogs are fed and happy. As for me, I don't normally stop at restaurants when I'm out geocaching, and I especially don't do it with the dogs if I can't sit down with them. So I picked myself up lunch at the grocery store as well. I'm gonna have this banana fruit drink right here, some of this chicken, another kind of chicken because this one looked just too good to pass up right there, an omelet over here on this side, and a bread snack, which I guess I'll see when I'm done whether or not I actually want that. This looked too good to pass up, and lunch is served. After a whole lot of walking, a good meal, and a few bites to eat from my lunch as well, the dogs are more than happy to sit and relax in the back of the car while we continue to drive further up the coast. And sure enough, once we get there, we hop right back out of the car and take another walk along the beach. My instincts tell me that this is probably a pretty popular spot during the warmer months, but since we are here when it's a little cooler outside, we have it all to ourselves. This is a very unique train station, and not sure one I've seen the like of before. You can't access it from the road on the other side. It's only made to be accessed from the beach, and is only open during the summertime. So right now there's no trains running, but it's direct access from the sand on the train and back home, I guess. Unlike Omaha Beach, our paws have never touched this sand before. So rather than rushing straight back to the car and heading on to our next destination, I decided to take it a little bit slower, allowing the dogs the time needed to investigate each of the unique smells they discovered here. They both agreed that this log had the best tales to tell, likely carrying them in on the waves from distant seas. That's right, you guys were both on this one. See it? There it is, yeah, huh. There is no quick way to get to our final stop of the day, which is more than 20 kilometers out from our previous target, driving along coastal roads toward the point. We meandered our way along the narrow, winding road, enjoying the unique views that each new curve brought us to. We all three converged on the ground zero at once. The question is, who found it first? The answer, whoever first pressed the paws on it. And that's the big dog right here. But you guys did a good job helping me find it. Thank you, A10. Thank you, Skip. Good job. If it seems like Skip is a bit more tired than Ai-chan, well, it's because he is. Although they've each been doing the same amount of walking today, they haven't been doing the same amount of resting. Each time we get back into the car, Ai-chan lays down, closes her eyes, and waits for the next stop. Whereas Skip sticks his head out the window and can't get enough of the views of the ocean. The post box, the good old faithful of geocache finds here in Japan. Excited every time I see one. Thank you, old buddy. I know that we are finally closing in on our last objective of the day when the road narrows down to just a single lane. It is at this point that I have to check for cars at each pass, particularly before the tunnel, because one of us has to pull off to the side so the other can fit and continue on down the road.
Skip, what's that, buddy? What is it? Right here, look. Right there, what is it? That's right, buddy. It's our geocache. Good boy, you found it. Good boy.
Hey, he's getting pretty good at this. Finally, I see the sign that I'm looking for, a photo that I have seen in many places around Tokushima Prefecture, indicating that I've entered the boundaries of Muroto-Anan Quasi-National Park. Founded on the 1st of June in 1964, this quasi-national park covers an area of 72 kilometers squared. It spans the coastline across this peninsula, stretching all the way out to Cape Komoda, the easternmost point on the island of Shikoku. We are closing in on the end now. Only one geocache left between us and the end of this adventure. Cape Komoda, which protrudes out to the east into the Key Channel, is recognized as the place where the sun first rises in Shikoku. There can be no doubt that you've made it to the right place when you spot the Poem of Waves monument marking the trailhead out to the easternmost point. The monument is intended to embody the wind and the waves coming together perfectly, matching the landscape of Komoda. If two people look into the heart-shaped center together, they will be able to see their future. Ai-chan and I tried to do so together, and we saw more trails up ahead. And while I know my dog is always in for a trail, so long as it's reasonable, stairs are another matter altogether. Seeing what was up ahead, she took a deep breath to brace herself for the climb. Our end point for the day is just up a few stairs. By a few stairs, I mean just a few. Ai-chan is standing right in front of me right now, looking at me like I'm crazy for wanting to do this. But she's a tough old bird, and I know she's gonna climb this thing for our grand finale.
It also helped to motivate her that Skip was out here too, rushing to the stairs excitedly, taking them two at a time in the drive to get to the top. Together, the three of us slowly ascended, and before we knew it, the lighthouse above was coming into view. The Komoda Misaki Lighthouse marks the eastern entrance to the Seto Inland Sea, along with the Ki Hinomisaki Lighthouse. It has played a pivotal role in helping ships to navigate their way through the many reefs and fast currents marking this area. It first came into operation here on the easternmost point of the island on October 1st of 1924. It carried the weight alone for nearly 50 years until in 1972, a second light was installed just a little over a kilometer away from this lighthouse.
It sure is nice to have a couple of patient dogs to wait for me to find another geocache.
With all of our goals for the day successfully met, there's only one thing left standing between us and calling it quits, and that's getting down these stairs to return to the car. This time around though, there is no easy way, so Ai-chan sets a steady pace following Skip and I all the way down. We all take a breath together when we reach the bottom, enjoying the cool breeze blowing in off the ocean. Our short walk down the trail to return to the car once again gives us a little bit of time to reflect on the amazing day that we've had together. We have taken in a lot of scenic views. We have smelled our way through many interesting scents. We have covered a significant distance out on the trails, but most importantly, we have had a great day hanging out together.
All right, that's going to do it for our geocaching tour through Minami today. We began at the far western end in Mugi, worked our way along the Sunline Road into Hiwasa, stopped for lunch, and now come to an end as far east as we can go, not only in Tokushima Prefecture, but the island of Shikoku in general. Any further east and we'll be dropping into the sea, and I don't think either dog wants anything to do with any of that. I hope you guys have enjoyed this geocaching tour through Minami with us today, and I hope you enjoyed all of the scenic sights along the way. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, stay tuned for updates, and we'll see you out on the trails.